You have arrived at the K.O.E. Nation. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very long time coming review. One that's been bonded, bottled in bond, folks. Jack Daniels Bonded Tennessee Rye. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes you the podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter as well. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the 16-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, non-chill filtered, quadruple distilled, your blend master of ceremonies himself, Tony fucking G. We are back with, yes, JD 100 rye.
Bonded rye, bottled in bond, 100 proof, uniquely crafted rye grain bill, delivers a bold and complex flavor.
I picked this up in Vegas, like, in October of last year, thinking, oh, God, I found it before it came to Nebraska, and literally, like, a week later, it was in Nebraska.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
So it stopped being a necessity to review, and it's been sitting on my shelf staring at me, and finally doing a rye night, and I'm like, yeah, this is happening.
Well, okay, there's one particular rye I wanted to review, so Tony said, rye night, we're having rye night. Like, okay.
I've got like 9 bottles of rye that need to, so...
Fair enough. Well...
A+.
Ooh, that
A+.
was... I hope the mic picked that up, so like, it might have peaked out on that one, because that was beautiful. That was A+.
That's perfect.
Porkery.
Well, good night. Oh, we're doing more? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. JD Bonded.
We'll let you...
So, I really like the Bonded series presentation.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the logo really nails it. The shape of the bottle. It's a little taller, which I've always thought Jack Daniels could be. So, yeah, I really like the Bonded.
When you think square bottle, you either think Johnny Walker or Jack Daniels. Should be told.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And Tony loves how this.
I was going to read this, wasn't I? Sorry, I was trying to focus on setting it back down because I don't want to get into it. Bonded Rye, our distinct Tennessee rye, opens with notes of dried fruit, followed by lingering hints of toffee, imparting a bold, complex, and balanced taste with a rye spice finish. Bottled in bond, distilled by a single distiller during a single season, and matured in a government-bonded warehouse for at least 4 years. 100 proof. So, this one comes out, a year or so after the Jack Daniels Bonded and the Triple Mash in the series.
Truth be told, I think I liked Bonded better.
I was a big fan of the Triple Mash, but...
You were one of the few. Like, I remember that was not as well received as I thought it was going to be. But like, that's kind of like as close as we're going to get to a Jack Daniels 4 grain. So that's why you probably really dug that. This?
This definitely smells like Jack, doesn't it?
I was about to say, it has the distinct, undeniable smell of sugar maple charcoal. My longtime nemesis.
I'm
not wrong, am I?
No, that's what I said. It smells like Jack Daniels.
Part of the house style.
That's it, but I don't mind that. That's really...
It's not terrible.
No.
Because, like, you know, it's funny, guy in Germany who was reviewing Jack Daniels, he said it was too sweet and fruity for him. And I'm like, wow, those are not things I would associate with Jack Daniels. There's a sweetness to the palate there, though.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Did not expect that finish.
Yeah, it's a spicy meatball in the end.
No, what in that world? It's got a finish to me adjacent to Gentleman Jack.
Okay, fair enough. I've only had a few sips of that in my life, so I'm not too versed on that. Because when I heard what Gentleman Jack was, I was like, They just run it through the Lincoln County process again. Well, that's the biggest advance in whiskey since whoop-de-fucking-do.
I tell you, the front, it drinks like a pretty nice rye, but then there's like a chestnut, oak,
There we go.
maple.
I was wondering why this reminded me of Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you hit it, chestnut.
Yeah. I guess they're calling it toffee, dried fruit. But yeah, for me, that's like chestnut.
Yeah. Wow.
I really like this. I really like this.
That one hit the nail on the head on that one.
That is a finish I did not expect. I got to tell you that.
Delightful.
Very
pleasant.
Welcome. Wow. I really liked that.
For it. So now, T, we
really
get to the interesting part, the grading. So we're going to grade this as a Jack Daniel's release.
Okay.
As a rye. As a whiskey. As a cask-aged spirit. Oh, you love my innovations, T. It's shelving, and for those new to the show, the secret 6 question, which is, can Tony's OCD survive this?
They can't.
Okay, so that's not the secret 6 question. But all right, as a Jack Daniel's release,
I'm telling you,
I'm
gonna go 4.5 as a Jack Daniel's release. This is marvelous.
Yeah, and the Jack Daniel's front, yeah, I gotta agree, 4.5 stars.
Like I said, the Bonded series has hands down been my favorite thing that Jack Daniel's has done.
It's some of their best work
ever. I know it's not bonded, but I really want to get my hands on the American single malt that comes in the same bottling presentation. I believe that's a lower proof. That's probably only like 8 or 90.
Outside of like Sinatra Select and stuff like that, but like this is
marvelous.
Yeah, marvelous unto itself. Now we're gonna get a little more real here. As a rye whiskey.
As a rye whiskey, I'm gonna go with 4 because it's got a great rye beginning, but such a nice whiskey finish.
I think if this were to be entered into the rye tournament, this is probably going to make it like, okay, this is my prediction now. It's at least going to make it to the Elite Eight.
Okay?
Like that's it. Like it would take something really special.
Yeah.
Probably like the winner of the whole tournament would be required to meet it early to knock it out.
Yeah.
So it like kind of like a lot of your predictions last time around. A lot of them went down to Woodford store pick from Spirit World.
That was so unfair.
It
was unfair because it didn't taste like rye, and that's why you guys liked it.
Well, it tasted like mulberries. It was amazing. So of course we're gonna love that. So
I like the rye that doesn't taste like rye. What the fuck are we even doing here?
So tell us how you really feel, T.
I have.
Been holstering that one for a minute or two?
Nope, I'll tell you every time I get the chance.
Okay. Because, yeah, this time around, these guys have just been amassing like 15 ryes a piece. I might show up with 2. And then it's just like, Phil, thanks for participation. This is our baby. I think that's what's happening with this new.
It kind of has.
Yeah. Because this guy and Chicken love their rye. So
good.
Now, moving on to whiskey.
Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna let you go first.
325. Okay, it's excellent, approachable, but this is more of a drink it neat. I don't know if I think an ice ball would dilute it too much. It could work in a cocktail, but you'd have to be very good at your proportions.
I think this should be drink neat, but I do think this would cocktail fantastically because of the finish itself. That rye front isn't going to exclude certain cocktails because the finish is going to be so non-prototypical rye. So I think it would cocktail great. I don't think it's 100 proof. I mean, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. So I think you could put it over ice, although I wouldn't. because I think rye needs to be drank neat, room temperature, and that's that. That said, I'm gonna stick with 4. That's a whiskey.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 325. As a cask aged,
damn, there's some caramel in there.
Spirit, yeah, there is a bit.
Wow.
I'm not.
This is.
I'm not hating this.
No, this is so good.
As cask aged, I'm gonna go 3.5. It's bottled in bond, 4 years. Excellent stuff. One distiller. Yes, 3.5. Excellent cask aged, but that's a wide world of spirits. Okay.
So yeah, it's at least 4 years, 100 proof. I'm gonna stick with 4 stars. I really think they nailed this with the mash bill, with the aging, with the proof. Like, they knew what they were setting out to do, because obviously we're gonna make a bonded rye. Well, now you're handcuffed to your mash bill. You're handcuffed to how old you want it to be. But wow. They really nailed it. They sought out to do something, and they did it, and it's marvelous. So 4.
You convinced? I'm kicking it up to 375 because, like, yeah, caramel comes through with every new sip.
It really does. This is so good.
Good little pick of yours, T.
Oh man, this is nice.
Now, in terms of shelving, I know, like, for me, it's. Let me just go ahead and make a prediction.
All right.
For me, it would be a definitive middle shelf, okay? Which is saying a lot. Because for me, rye usually, especially a Jack rye, it's likely to be sitting on the bottom shelf for me, okay? This would be sitting in my middle. Dare I say, T, this would be sitting on your top shelf, and this is one of your heavy favorites to win the rye tournament?
Yeah, this is my new favorite to win the tournament.
Of course.
Yeah, I think I will put this on the top shelf. It presents so nicely. It just does. It's a classic Jack Daniel's look, but it's unique enough in that regard. Like I said, the Bonded series presents beautifully.
It does taste delicious.
And the liquid inside, it justifies it. Because, wow, that's good. Yeah, top.
Interesting.
Go ahead and ask the next question, because the answer is fuck yes.
When this bottle runs empty, will you seek another? If I were to keep a Jack rye on hand, it would be this.
Knowing what I know about the standard Jack Daniel's rye and how not good that is, like, it's not good. Not.
The fact that just putting it in a bonded warehouse for a little while.
And that original run of, was it the single barrel? The small batch? It was a small batch, or was it a single barrel?
It was single barrel rye.
It wasn't good.
That had a red label on it.
Yeah, the red label single barrel rye. In the fancy dancy smaller square with the long neck, almost a Willet bottle. That red maroon label of single barrel rye, not good. Standard Jack rye, not good. This is stupid good. Stupid how good this is compared to those, because I know what they can do with rye when it's not done right. And now I know what they can do with rye when it is done right, and that is right.
Correct yourself.
Wow.
Do this now.
This will be on my... This is under $40 most of the time.
Can you imagine if they stored a couple of barrels of this stuff next to where they stored the Sinatra Select? Like, I'm not trying
I can only get so erect.
Well, not to the Jack Daniel's distillery's horn too much, but that could potentially be, dare I say, some of the finest rye in the world. If they were to do that, because
not disagree.
Their warehouse, like, what a lot of people don't know is the reason the Sinatra Select is so good is because the Jack Daniel's warehouse is so massive. The stuff that's on the ground floor near the center of the warehouse, they can really control the temperature. And so that's where the best stuff is. So if they were to restore some of this rye whiskey there, they could make, dare I say, some of the finest rye whiskey in the world.
Yeah.
And so that it's very, now here's the problem. There's only so much space that they can put there. And of course they want to put their Sinatra Select there. But there's potential there, Jack.
You could really price gouge some collectors for some juice like that if you just put one little barrel off to the side. But, you know, since we gave you the idea, we should probably get a couple of bottles. I'm just saying.
or at least put our face on the bottle, put our pictures on the bottle, like that. I think that's fair.
You have your picture on the bottle. I'll take them off. There you go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this, folks, review has been released from the Bonded warehouse to you beautiful people at home. I am your King of Extreme, Phil, K.O.E, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes you the podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And I am signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner. Raise a glass to yourselves. God bless. Travel well. Tony G, take it away.
I am the Rye loving Blendmaster Tony G, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for bonding with us.